gals. Today we're going to be talking about censorship. So I'm going to provide examples of other YouTubers that have been silenced. Include Paul Joseph Watson, Styx Hexenhammer 666, Andrew Klavan Show, Alex Jones, Steven Crowder, Mark Dice. So, as stated or given to us by the Constitution, we are supposed to have the freedom of speech, at least in theory. Here's my dog. With political correctness taking over our society, it seems to be in question. Now, let's say that I go out on the street and I say, you know what, I don't really support the transgender trend. I can do that. But in the modern world that we live in today, we spend much of our time on the web, communicating on the web. We tend to think of the internet as a public space, free to share content, express our opinions, and argue like a keyboard warrior. But the internet is a combination of privately owned websites mediated by privately owned companies. We can at least be thankful that we do not have the communist-style Chinese censorship yet. But we are facing major censorship. This is happening through the social media companies that most of us use all around the world.
They censor, political opinions left and right. I've had things removed from Facebook that I've posted that in no realm of imagination would be considered unacceptable.
Using the internet, they can simply govern. They can use algorithms to manipulate content. Now, Facebook, Twitter, Google, Reddit, you name it, have all come out and said they've been censoring during the campaign of 2016, and they're going to be intensifying it in the next few months as they beta test systems of control.
So you take the same statement that I said earlier, that I don't like the transgender trend. On YouTube, Mark Dice might be able to say it through a video, but it might not be monetized. In Google, he can express his opinions, and yet his ad revenues might be removed. On Facebook, we did see that his post was banned, and he was removed. He did fight it, so I believe it's back on there. On Twitter, he could be banned altogether, which is what happened with Milo Yiannopoulos. So when Milo Yiannopoulos was banned from Twitter, he said that Twitter does not stand for free speech. But the difficult question is, do they have to? Technically, the answer is no. No, they don't. They are their own private companies with their own set of rules.
And they banned Milo, who said he had nothing to do with it. He wasn't encouraging them. But the point is, this never happens the other way around. So it's only one side that gets banned. And yes, it's true, Twitter is a private business. They can ban anybody they want.
When we talk about censorship, every time the argument comes back, Facebook's a private company, YouTube's a private company. They can censor who they want.
Isn't it funny how leftists are suddenly so vehemently in favour of the right of private companies to discriminate against people? But only when that discrimination involves censoring conservatives.
Trump's having all the positive comments in his Twitter blocked. And Twitter admits that's what they're doing, to, quote, nudge us into feeling like we're all alone and being desperate.
I have to admit, I do wonder if Facebook is censoring me. I used to get a lot of likes or comments or even people who would argue against me on my posts, and now it seems like it's gone invisible, which it can make you feel all alone. Like, wow, maybe my opinion doesn't matter anymore, or maybe people don't care about politics anymore. But really, it's probably the algorithms. YouTubers are noticing a decline in views. They're feeling it too. The problem is, the web is a space open to the public. It's where we get our information outside of TV and radio. And while we know that the mainstream media lies to us, the internet is where we can find sources of alternative news, alternative views that are contrary to the leftist elitist agenda. So when our viewpoints begin to be censored by social media monopolies like Facebook, Twitter, and Google.
You look at Google, which owns YouTube. It's a monopoly. It's crossed that line from being just a private company. Now you have to basically use their services to do anything on the internet in terms of content creation. So it's no longer just a private company. It's a monopoly.
So what the heck are we going to do about these monopolies? How can we fight Google and YouTube and Facebook? These are questions that I want you to answer below, because I don't know. Where are the non-leftist political commentators like Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder supposed to go?
That YouTube is a corporation and they have the right to boot or censor whoever they want, but that still doesn't change the fact that they're a bunch of fascists.
The general public cannot be fed only one viewpoint. We need to keep fighting the main media platforms before they shut our voice out entirely.
Many of your favourite YouTubers could be about to disappear. They're just going to censor us by labelling us extremists.
We need other media platforms that believe in free speech and the freedom to share ideas. Free speech for everyone. So something that I wanted to look at was Twitter's rules to see how they apply to conservatives and liberals. According to Twitter, their mission is to give everyone the power to create and share ideas and information instantly without barriers. Oh, really? Does that apply to anti-leftist content? Well, it seems to me that the rules are subjective. When a liberal cries about something you said, you get banned. Here are some Twitter rules. All users must adhere to the policies set forth in the Twitter rules. All users, you may not use our service for any unlawful purposes or furtherance of legal activities, like terrorism. As Milo has said, Twitter has confirmed itself as a safe space for Muslim terrorists and Black Lives Matter extremists, but it seems to be a no-go zone for conservatives. Let's look at this rule on abusive behavior. We believe in the freedom of expression and in speaking truth to power, but that means little as an underlying philosophy if voices are silenced. Like conservative ones? You cannot make threats of violence. Oh, like the kill all white men posts?
Black Lives Matter guys who are making remarks about killing cops, they don't get banned.
I've seen people on Facebook, and it never gets taken down. They're like, oh, kill all white men. Kill white babies. That's allowed to stay.
Isn't that right? I mean, it seems rather hypocritical for the Black Lives Matter movement to make threats online, and that's okay. But if a conservative says something offensive, then bring out the pitchforks.
We're all Nazis now.
It should be possible for computers to detect malicious, misleading and incorrect information and essentially have you not see it. We're not arguing for censorship, we're arguing just take it off the page.
Oh, we're not going to censor you. We're just going to make sure that nobody can see your videos. Oh, gee, thanks.
Oh, gee, thanks. Oh, I love that. Paul Joseph Watson. Then we have hateful content. You may not threaten other people on the basis of race, ethnicity, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity, religious affiliation, age, disability, or disease. So maybe liberalism is a disease, and we shouldn't mock the mentally unstable. The last rule that caught my eye is on spam. It is considered repeatedly creating false or misleading content. Oh, like the Counterfeit News Network, or otherwise known as CNN. If the left thinks that they are safe from this censorship, they're wrong. I'm talking to you Democrats or people on the left. It's going to come down on you too. Don't think that you're safe. Because eventually, when you have a society that is politically correct and always offended by something, it's going to cave in on itself. You're going to offend somebody, and then you get banned.
Determining what is hate speech or what's offensive today, people are going to be able to kind of game these algorithms and everyone's going to be affected. That's why it's so important to fight for the First Amendment and to understand that even though you might disagree with what someone is saying, we have to protect free speech and the free access to information.
I know it's difficult sometimes. People will argue with you. SJWs will insult you. Family and friends may unfriend you. I've actually had that happen before. I've had both family and friends unfriend me because I didn't support their views or because of my support for Trump. We cannot allow censorship to rule us. We need to preserve free speech in our country. Don't give up, patriots. We need to keep on fighting. So brainstorm ideas, keep posting alternative sources, keep posting the real facts that the mainstream media is not talking about. Support those that are trying to spread the truth. I have links below of the other YouTubers if you want to check them out. And please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. Thank you guys for listening. I just want to encourage you, we can do this. Make America great again. Thank you for listening, and this is Know Me Talk.